Battlefield 5 Firestorm review and first impressions. Strap in, I'll give you some context on the backstory of the game, who the developer actually is, what kind of battle royale is it, what are some of the pros and cons, and the value. Is this game worth it? If you've been living under a rock, you might be asking, what is Firestorm? Well, Firestorm is the add-on battle royale mode made by not DICE, but rather Criterion Games for Battlefield 5. Yes, you heard me correctly. This game was not made by DICE, and you might know Criterion Games because they made famous racing games Need for Speed, Burnout, and even, don't cringe, Star Wars Battlefront. So the question ends up being, how did Criterion do when converting the core assets of DICE's Battlefield 5 into a new BR game? So first things first, let's get this out of the way as soon as possible. Firestorm is not Battlefield. As a hardcore fan of the Battlefield series, since I was grinding Battlefield 2 with my childhood friends and playing the demo of 1942, I have always identified Battlefield as a class-based shooter that mixes realistic elements with arcade shooter elements. Firestorm does not have classes, so it is not Battlefield. There is no medic class, support class, recon, nor assault, and personally, from a battle royale standpoint, this is not a bad thing. If we take a look through a macroscopic lens at the battle royale genre in general, Apex Legends is already nailing the class-based genre in an extremely dominating way. So in my opinion, it's really good that Criterion went for a different niche within the already oversaturated battle royale market. So what kind of battle royale is Firestorm? Let's start at the bare basics. Firestorm is set in the Battlefield 5 universe, so it's during World War II. It appears to be set in a Scandinavian country, and it uses a smattering of the same weapons and items that you would find within the core game itself. In Firestorm, you can pick to either play solo or in 4-person squads. As a streamer, I really prefer to play solo because it lets me interact more easily with chat, but I watched a lot of people playing the squads, and the squad mode looks really fun as well. And personally, I have to say, I'm glad that they gave us an option for both. Battlefield is well known for its large-scale combat. It appears that the number of people that can drop into each game has been capped at 64, which is very similar to Apex Legends' cap of 60 players, but the map is significantly bigger than Apex's. The developers mentioned that the map for Firestorm is 10 times the size of Hamada, which is the largest map in Battlefield 5's core game. So if one were to describe Apex as a fast-paced, arcade-style battle royale shooter, then Firestorm would be more described as a medium-paced, hybrid, tactical, and strategic shooter between an arcade shooter and a tactical shooter, which has always been what Battlefield is. A word of caution that if you're a W key warrior, always pushing forward, you push every fight you see, you push straight forward, you never stop running, this game might not be for you. Don't let this discourage you though. I've put in about 12 to 16 hours into Firestorm so far, and I've gotten 3 10+ kill wins, and I dropped 13 kills, but there was like 7 or 8 people still left. So you can absolutely slay out in Firestorm. One quick gameplay observation that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about yet. Your footstep noise is extremely loud in this game. You need to be asking, what material am I stepping on? Is it hard? Is it soft? If I'm running on rocks, it's extremely loud. What noise does it make if I'm running on snow versus going through a bush? Should I be crouching to make less noise? So you should always be scared of getting third-partied, and you should always be trying to manage how much noise you're making at any given moment. For some of you that really like tactical shooters or realistic shooters, managing this type of gameplay mechanic may appeal to you. I would say that in general, if you enjoy clean gunplay, solid mechanics with explosive gadgets, and tactical, thoughtful, strategic gameplay, Firestorm might be a good game for you. Now that you know the basics of Firestorm, let's look through a microscopic lens now and talk about some of the nitty-gritty and talk about specifically the pros and cons that I've identified. To kick off the pros, I just want to say, number one, the gunplay is amazing. I don't know what sort of sorcery or magic DICE put into the gunplay, but all of the weapons are fun to shoot. They're satisfying. I feel no hit registration issues, getting a kill, even the pop-up that comes up in the UI. It just looks so solid. So 2 thumbs up on that. Another big pro is that BF5 is a visually stunning game. It is just beautiful. The graphics are amazing. It's incredibly immersive, and Firestorm is, of course, just as stunning as BF5. Another pro that I really like, Battlefield has always been about capturing objectives, and they tied this into Firestorm as well through something called resupply points, which after you capture the full objective, it gives you epic loot. It really is great because it funnels a lot of people into certain areas. The danger of a large map is it's hard to find people, and anything that brings people to the same place, all fighting to get good loot, 2 thumbs up from me. Another pro is that the movement mechanics are actually quite good. I've seen a lot of people complain about this online. I have to say that I don't really see a lot of people sliding around and using diving the same way that I am. Here's a tip to anyone watching. If you don't know, if you're running full speed and you double tap X, you can slide. It's really solid. One super small last pro is that as the fire actually starts closing in and it touches buildings, those buildings get demolished by the firestorm, and the effect is so exhilarating when it's happening during the game. And now let's pivot from the good things into the bad things. And there are some serious bad things. The number one con is that the looting system is utter garbage. It is so freaking hard to loot everything that you see on the floor. Items get stuck under objects, underneath other objects. They're hard to mouse over. There's no itemized menu that you can pull up when you pull up your inventory. They need to fix the looting as soon as humanly possible. The second really crucial, almost game-breaking issue currently is that the armor system really needs to be reworked. After you eliminate an opponent and then you go to pick up their armor has 0 armor on it. So it punishes you by making you use the armor plates that you're carrying in your inventory to heal the armor of the person that you just killed. And in addition to that, they only let you carry 3 armor plates total. It is too much of an advantage to somebody that conserves their armor plates and waits until the late game to have full armor versus someone that's actually trying to get some kills, has no armor as a result of that. Another con that is carried over from the core Battlefield 5 game, it's extremely hard to see enemies sometimes. And I'm not sure if this is meant to mimic real life, where if an enemy is lying down in real life and camouflaged, they're extremely hard to see. But sometimes someone is literally just laying in a bush, waiting for you to run by, and there is nothing you can do about it. You're going down. These 3 cons together, where it's extremely hard to loot, you seem to never have armor, and it's really hard to see enemies, means that the game kinda seems to reward campers. And I don't really like when campers are winning. But the good news is a lot of these issues can be easily rectified, and I believe that the future is very bright for Firestorm. Let's make our last pivot here to talk about the bottom line. Value. Is the game worth the money? If you're a Battlefield fan and you haven't picked up BF5 yet, it's currently 50% off, and with the addition of Firestorm, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer to pick it up for $40. With that being said, if you're only interested in Firestorm, the Battle Royale mode, and you are not at all interested in playing the core game, which honestly you should be, then Firestorm, I would say, would probably be not worth the $40 price tag in its current state. With all of that being said, I do want to reiterate that I have been enjoying Firestorm a lot from what I've played. I'm looking forward to making more content for the game in the future, and as it is currently, I would give Firestorm a solid 7 out of 10. I just want to thank you so much for watching this video today. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you along for the ride. I was working with my new editor today, Orion VA, and let him know how great of a job he did in the comments below. Thanks so much, and see you next time.